It's another exciting day here in Algebra 2. Today we are looking at long division of polynomials. Now before we get into the polynomial division, I want to jog your memory on how long division works because it's probably been a while since you've worked with it. So if I want to divide 5,493 by 24, well first of all, the first number is called your dividend and the second number is called your divisor. So when you're setting up your house, your dividend is what goes inside and your divisor is what goes on the outside. Now, I'm starting with a number in front. 5 is not divisible by 24, but 54 is, and 24 can go into 54 twice. Now I'm going to multiply 2 times 24, and that gives me 48. Subtracting 54 and 48 gives me 6. I'm going to bring down the next digit, which is the 9, and I'm going to repeat the whole thing over again. 24 can go into 69 twice as well. 2 times 24 is 48. 69 minus 48 is 21. Bring down the last digit, which is a 3. 24 can go into 213 8 times. 8 times 24 is 192. If I subtract those, I get 21. And I'm left with a number that 24 cannot divide into, so this is now my remainder. And so my answer would be 228, and my remainder is now a fraction over my divisor. So 21 over 24, that of course is a fraction that can simplify. 21 and 24 are both divisible by 3. So if I was going to simplify this, that would be 228 and 7/8 is the answer. So with polynomial long division, we are going to follow those same steps, but there's going to be a lot of x's in there. We're going to set up our house, divide the leading term by our divisor, multiply, subtract, bring down the next term, and so on. So we are going to jump into some examples here, starting with my first one, 5x cubed plus 6x squared minus 17x plus 20 is going inside the house, and then x plus 3 is going outside. So if I were to divide 5x to the third by x, that would give me 5x squared left over. Now I'm going to divide 5x squared by the x, which gives me 5x cubed, and the 3. That's going to give me 15x squared. Now I'm going to subtract, but I have to subtract the whole thing, which means I am distributing this negative, and both of these will become negative, so these cancel. And then 6 minus 15x squared leaves me with negative 9x squared. I'm going to bring down my next term, which is negative 17x, and repeat the process over. Negative 9x squared divided by x is negative 9x. Now I'm going to divide negative 9x by x, which gives me negative 9x squared, and by 3, which gives me negative 27x. I'm going to subtract, which means I'm distributing the negative, and these both become positive. So that's gone now. These cancel. Negative 17x plus 27x is 10x. I'm going to bring down my last term, which is 20. 10x divided by x is 10. 10 times x is 10x. 10 times 3 is 30. I'm going to subtract, and again distributing that negative, and I get negative 10. I cannot divide negative 10 by x, so this is my remainder. And the way I will write my answer is I will take everything that's on the top of my house. So I have 5x squared minus 9x plus 10. And then remember, your remainder is a fraction over your divisor. The divisor for this one is x plus 3. So this will be minus 10 over x plus 3. And that is my final answer. Okay, let's get some more practice going here. For the next one, x to the fourth minus 4x cubed plus x plus 10 is going inside the house. X minus 2 is going outside. X to the fourth divided by x is x to the third. When I multiply both of those, I get x to the fourth minus 2x cubed. I'm going to subtract and distribute my negative. So those cancel, and then negative 4x cubed plus 2x cubed is negative 2x cubed. I'm going to bring down the next term. Negative 2x cubed divided by x is negative 2x squared. Multiplying both of those, I get negative 2x cubed plus 4x squared. Now, something that we missed here is that in my descending order, I do not have a term that is x squared. So what we need here is a placeholder of 0x squared. because I cannot subtract x or combine x and 4x squared. So instead of bringing down x, I'm going to bring down 0x squared. And now when I subtract, again, after I distribute my negative, these cancel, and 0x squared minus 4x squared is negative 4x squared. And now I can bring down that x. Negative 4x squared divided by x is negative 4x. And then I'm going to multiply, and I get negative 4x squared plus 8x. Subtracting, distributing my negative. Those cancel. This is negative 7x. I'm going to bring down my last term, which is the 10. Negative 7x divided by x is negative 7. When I multiply, I get negative 7x plus 14. So I'm going to subtract, distribute my negative, and I get negative 4 as my remainder. So again, for my final answer, it'll be everything on top of that house, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 4x minus 7, and then negative 4 over my divisor, which was x minus 2 for this one. Okay, moving on, I now have 5x cubed plus 12. This one is missing several powers. I don't have an x squared, so I'm going to put a placeholder of 0. I don't have an x to the 1, so I'm going to put a placeholder of 0. And then I do have that constant at the end. So this is saving us from running into that issue we did on the previous problem. 5x cubed divided by x is 5x squared. I'm going to multiply that out and get 5x cubed plus 25x squared. Then I'm going to subtract, distribute my negative, and now I've got negative 25x squared plus 0x. Negative 25x squared divided by x is negative 25x. When I multiply, I get negative 25x squared minus 125x. Subtracting and distributing that negative makes these both positive. So now I have 125x plus 12. 125x divided by x is 125. So multiplying that out, I now get 125x plus 625. I'm going to subtract, distribute my negative, and I get negative 613 as my remainder. So my answer is 5x squared minus 25x plus 125 minus 613 over x plus 5. Okay, last one for this part. Inside my house, 3x to the 4th plus 29x cubed plus 18x squared minus 25x minus 3. We're not missing any powers, so we don't need any placeholders here. And then our divisor is now a trinomial, and we have a power of 2. This is not going to change our steps, and in fact, this is actually going to make this one go faster because we're going to be subtracting and combining 3 terms at a time. So just starting with the 2 in front, 3x to the 4th divided by 3x squared is just x squared. Now I'm going to multiply x squared by all 3 of these, and that will give me 3x to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd minus 3x squared. I'm going to subtract, which means I'm going to distribute the negative to all 3 of these. So those cancel. 29x to the 3rd minus 2x to the 3rd is 27x to the 3rd. And 18x squared plus 3x squared is 21x squared. I'm going to bring down my next term and repeat. 27x to the 3rd divided by 3x squared is 9x. Multiplying all 3, I get 27x to the 3rd plus 18x squared minus 27x. Subtracting, again distributing the negative to all 3 terms. Those cancel. 21x squared minus 18x squared is 3x squared. 25x plus 27x is 2x. And then I'm going to bring down the negative 3. 3x squared divided by 3x squared is 1. 1 multiplied by all 3 of these gives me 3x squared minus 2x minus 3. I'm going to subtract, distribute that negative, and everything is going to cancel, which means I have a remainder of 0 this time. So my answer is just going to be what was on top of my house, x squared plus 9x plus 1. Okay, the last part of this one is asking us to do something slightly different, but we're still going to be using division. We are determining whether x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. Well, if something is a factor, when you divide it, you would have nothing left over, no remainder. So let's set up our long division. And what we are looking for is to see if we get a remainder. We don't necessarily care what that remainder is. We just need to know if there is one. So everything we've been doing, we're going to do again. 3x to the third divided by x is 3x squared. I'm going to multiply and get 3x to the third minus 3x squared. Subtracting and distributing that negative. I now get 13x squared minus x. 13x squared divided by x is 13x. When I multiply, I get 13x squared minus 13x. Subtracting. I'm running low on space here. That becomes negative, that becomes positive. I'm going to kind of rewrite some stuff over here. Negative x plus 13x is 12x, and then I have a minus 12. 12x divided by x is 12. So when I multiply, I had that 12x minus 12 here. Then 12 times x is 12x. 12 times negative 1 is negative 12. I'm subtracting, distributing my negative. And everything once again cancels, and I get a remainder of 0. So the answer would be yes, it is a factor. Okay, this video is running low on time, so I'm going to do the back page in a separate part, but we are going to look at a shortcut of sorts for this type of division.